Feedback loops in scientific method. Question, hypothesis, experiments, observations, analysis, conclusions. The 6 steps of scientific method do not always occur in same order. Let me show you how the steps can feed back and branch out from one another with an example of my own experience. Last weekend, I had a minor ordeal with my internet connection at home. I had started up my laptop and I was frustrated to find that I couldn't get on internet. I made the observation that my laptop was not receiving an internet connection. I asked myself a question. Is something wrong with the internet itself, or was it just my laptop? One way to begin answering my question was to check the connection on desktop computer. Quick, I formed a hypothesis. If the internet is not working on the desktop either, then the problem is beyond my laptop computer. The experiment I performed was to check the desktop connection, and my resulting observation was that the internet didn't work there. So by analyzing the evidence there, I was able to form my first conclusions. Nothing is wrong with my laptop and something is wrong with the internet connection. Now this conclusion answered my first question. But it still didn't get my internet to work. So I had to pose another question. Where exactly was the problem occurring in the chain of internet devices? Was it the cord between the modem and the router? The cord between the router and my computer? Or was the problem in the router itself? I had to form another hypothesis. If both my internet cords are properly plugged in, then there must be a problem with the router. My experiment was to check both cords and the router. My observation was that both cords were plugged in and that the router was off. I analyzed the evidence and my conclusion was that I couldn't connect to the internet because my router was off. Are you seeing a pattern here? Once I came up with one conclusion, it left me with another question that I needed to answer. From every question, I got a hypothesis. From every hypothesis, I got an experiment. And from every experiment, I got an observation that led me to more conclusion. Come on, I don't need to tell you the rest of the story. Eventually, I figured out that my router was unplugged and solved my internet problem by plugging it back in. The important thing to see here is that scientific method does not follow a straight line. It loops back on itself in countless ways. It branches out in new investigations. There's never just one way to answer a question.